so many top players due to injuries and due to other engagements. But the technical advisor Genotroy has accepted their withdrawals. But all the same, with what we've got as far as this country is concerned, we have what it takes to take on the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. So for those that have been given this opportunity to go out there and do their country proud, I'm sure they are going to give their all. We'll be telling you the names of the players in camp the moment as the show progresses. All right, let's celebrate our own Aruna Quadri as well, as he has gained qualification for Tokyo Olympics. The ITTF, they confirmed that earlier today, and it was on the basis that he got qualification, who also let you know. Concerning the transfer market at the moment, Chelsea transfer target Robert Lewandowski has hinted at Bayern Munich exit, though he has not disclosed, his next club that will be playing for next season. But all the same, we know that earlier this year Chelsea spoke to his representatives. So let's see where Lewy will find himself next season. And in boxing, former world champion, this is really something that we have to look at. He recanted how he slept with prison warder to reduce 6 year sentence. Plus, fight talk concerning Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul this weekend. Good evening and welcome to Sports Fiesta, and it is live on 92.7 KBFM down here in Benin City. My name is Egusa. You can call me the Sports Maestro, and I've got Chidindo Ituro, our new strike partner on the show, and there's also the co-maestro as well, but like we told in the morning, we are going to we are so excited. All right, CJ, good evening and welcome to the show. Let's begin from home and the camp of the Super Eagles. Yes, though they are not camped here at the moment, they are right there in Austria. I don't know, that is one particular place where the Super Eagles like to use as their camping ground whenever they are going to major tournament. It seems to go be a very lovely place and a lucky place for them. This weekend they'll be taking on the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, and it's going to be a double header because the NFF failed to get another friendly, so they'll play Cameroon. Then I think 4 days later they'll play them again, though they'll still have one against Mexico. 17 players right now in camp, and despite the withdrawals of the big boys, some of the big boys, especially defenders, but with the ones we have in the camp, I'm sure we'll be able to get something out of it. Quickly, let's give you the names of the players in camp, and so that we can look at it properly, and also they are still expecting more players. The goalkeepers, Maduka Okoye, Francis Zoho, and John Noble. Then you have the defenders, William Trust Ekong, Jamilu Collins, Chidozie Awazem, and Valentine Ozowanfo. Oh, many question this inclusion after playing just 8 minutes in the Turkish Super League. Then we also got Shehu Abdullahi. Then look at the midfielders, Wilfred Ndidi, Ogenekaro Etebo, Marcos Abraham, Samson Tijani, Alex Iwobi, as well as Anayo Iwohala of Ayimba International. Then the strikers, Kelechi Iheanacho, Terence Murphy, and Peter Olayinka.
I think we're good to go. We're good to go. If you look at the list of the Super Eagles players currently in that Austria camp, I think they're enough. 17 players, if I'm not mistaken.
17.
Yes, 17 players already in camp of the Super Eagles. I think with these 17 players, we should prosecute, this very friendly match or matches, successfully. From what we hear it's a double header. We'll play Cameroon on Friday, and then of course play them again on Tuesday. Same very way in Austria. So let's see. If you talk about the goalkeeping department, we've got 2 quality goalkeepers, and then backing them up has to be John Noble, who is a local based player. You also talk about the defenders. We have 2, let's say 3 centre backs now in this very team that are currently in camp in Austria. So very much our defensive lineup is covered up. I think we can make use of what we have currently. You also talk about the midfielders. I think we're good to go. We've got an attacking midfielder in the person of Alex Iwobi. There's also Tijani Samson, not going to carry Taba, who is the central midfielder. Marcos Abraham, who is of course hopefully will make his first appearance for the Super Eagles against Cameroon. Wilfred Ndidi as well is of course a Trojan in that very midfield of the Super Eagles. Anayo Iwohala is an upcoming artist, the Super Eagles coach. So he's always there to complement the midfielders. So very much midfield is covered up. If we do not get any other player to show up the midfield, I think we're good to go. You talk about the striking force, Kelechi Iheanacho, Terry Murphy, Peter Olayinka. Kelechi Iheanacho, in all competitions, I think he scored about 19 goals or thereabout, for his team, Leicester City in England. Terry Murphy also is not short of form in any way. He has done so well for his, team in France, Lorient. I also talk about, Peter Olayinka, who has continued to put Nigeria on the map in Czech Republic. There's no way you look at this lineup and you say to yourself that this lineup cannot beat Cameroon, even over 2 legs. So let's see how it gets up. But in the morning, Coach Garnacho was lamenting and saying that a lot of players pulled out of these friendly matches. For that reason, that we should just get, or we should just take anything we get from the friendly matches. But let's see how he gets to go. If Garnacho cannot beat Cameroon with these 17 players, I doubt if he can beat any other team, because we've got quality here.
Yeah, we've got quality, honestly. We know that the top players, when you look at the striking department, you've got Victor Osimhen there, and also we've got other players. Simi Nwako did well with Kotone, has also pulled out. And looking at the defense line and all that, I understand that this is an opportunity for the other guys to also, gets to play for the Super Eagles. And also
remember the last time he was called up, I don't think he was on the standby list, but he couldn't make it to the main list. It's an opportunity for him. Peter Olayinka, it's more like a second chance for him, to come in and then see how he can improve the team.
For the striking department, we are not short of quality there, because Terry Murphy finished with 14 goals in the just concluded 2020-2021 season right there in French Ligue 1. So for him to have scored 14 goals, equaling that of Victor Ikpeba, that the Prince of Monaco scored so many years ago. So that tells you, he has so much quality. And Peter Olayinka, he won the Czech top division with Slavia Prague. What else will you expect from Kelechi Iheanacho, who helped the Forces to win their first ever FA Cup trophy right there, and beating a club like Chelsea? You know what that means. So for me, I think the strike force is okay. Then I'm looking forward to seeing the new call-up, talking about Marcus Abraham, who is doing well in Portugal and is getting a great moment. And also for me, I think that's also good. The goalkeeper, Maduka Okoye, was nominated among the best players in the Dutch Eredivisie. So I'm looking forward to how that vote will pan out, if he will be voted the best goalkeeper in the Holland. So let's see how many players will join them in camp, and let's see how they are going to prosecute this. We've got Onyeka Tebo, who is, I call him small body, big engine. He's really, really strong. When you talk about physicality, he has got it. When you talk about brains, he has got it. So I think we are good to go. Yeah, that's why we found that the likes of Alibo will not be here. Someone who has that flair and he knows how to pull the trigger anytime, any day. But all the same, this is not enough for us to say we are short of staff. We are not short of stars here. We've got so much stars, and that is one thing you get when you have so much quality at your disposal. Even when some of them are pulling out, you still have so much quality who's in that team. So,
for instance, you look at this very young lad, talking about Marcus Abraham. You look at the stats this season, this concluded season. In 27 matches, he scored 11 goals and made 2 assists. In terms of his current team, that's talking about City Firenze. So it's a case of when one player is not available, we've got another player who can also do a yeoman's job, and that's why it's a national team. It's not a club football where if a player leaves, it's difficult to replace him immediately. In a national team, you have so many players who are just on standby, waiting, to ensure that they grab the opportunity. So this is an opportunity for a youngster like Marcus Abraham. He's just 21 years. It's a chance for him to go there and also prove that I can hold my own. The likes of Iwobi started playing for the Super Eagles at a very young age. So we want this guy to go in there and ensure that he stamps his foot, in terms of these 2 friendly matches. Let's hope he's able to get some decent game time under Coach Garnacho.
Okay, that's what we've got for you as far as the midfield and the attack is concerned. But looking at the defense, William Troost-Ekong is here. Jamilu Collins has played for the Eagles before. Chidozie was in, but Valentin also won for. Dosu Joseph and Moraminike questioned his inclusion in the team, and they said, how can a player who had 8 minutes, not 8 hours, 8 minutes, in a full season, be invited to the Super Eagles, where you have other players who did well, who were regulars in their teams, not being given colours. But here you have, so they were like, wow, maybe he wants to get to know more about Valentine after playing 8 minutes on. So I was like, come on, is it not supposed to be invitation based on merit, or should there be sentiment when it comes to invitation? Because many will look at this and say, well, if so they can start coming up with 1 or 2 stories that one of us could go on to believe. But hey, these are just proving that although maybe there are qualities that you are seeing in Valentine that he wants to have a closer watch. But all the same, let's see. This is an opportunity for him because some defenders are not here. Some of the not here, and other defenders are. So let's see what Valentine will bring to the table.
Okay, for Valentine as well, he's a special kind of centre back because he's a left-footed centre back, and we don't have so many of them, in Nigeria, at least in the mainstream. So he brings in something totally different from what we have currently in the Super Eagles setup. Maybe that's the reason why Coach Ganacho, in his own wisdom, decided to bring him on board to, make an appearance, hopefully for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But then playing 8 minutes does not help anybody make a case for Valentine as well. For 8 minutes, it's just like you playing like it's just like, if you want to even rate it, it's more like playing 1 minute or playing 1 minute in 8 matches. And that's more like it doesn't help in any way. It doesn't help anyone try to defend this very invitation. But Coach Ganacho is, of course, the team, the technical advisor of this very team, and he knows best, and he knows the reason why he invited this young man. We hope that during the press are able to ask him, why did he invite a player who has 8 minutes?
Definitely, a technical advisor will always have an answer to give you. Yeah, we could tell you, okay, he's one of the few players that are left-footed. That's the reason I brought him. But all the same, like you said, I don't question coach's list and all that until after the game. Then we can now come out with our own analysis and say why did you invite it. But if the players that are invited, they all came out and they did wonderfully well. Come on, who cares? Or if he invites all the players from one particular city or state, who cares? All that the people want to see, that they want to see good football and they want to see that Eagles are winning. Once they are winning, nobody wants to know the players. It is only when they lose, people will now start saying, who are the players that even prosecute the games? People will now start questioning and all that. So for me, I think this is one we have to look out for. We know Zaidu Sanusi is not playing. He's a left-footed left back. So it's possible that Valentine could play as a centre back and also play as a left back, because is a natural favorite foot is left. But all the same, the way it's going to set up, they've played so many games, and under Ganacho, I think the Eagles have done pretty well, but we still have some way to go. And okay, before we go on the first break on the show, we can tell you now, let's still in Nigeria, let's talk about our own Aruna Quadri, and he's a table tennis player. His name rings a bell, and we can call it ping pong as well. The International Table Tennis Federation, ITTF, they have confirmed the eventual qualification of Nigeria's Aruna Quadri for the rescheduled Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games in Japan. And according to a letter addressed to the president of the Nigeria Olympic Committee and president of the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, NTTF, and signed by ITTF competition director Gabor Feleyi, Aruna, who is the first African in the history of the Olympic Games to make it to the quarter-final stage of the singles event, is expected to join 85 others across the globe to compete in the men's singles event at Tokyo Games next month. It is with great pleasure I advise the qualification of Quadri Aruna to compete in the table tennis men's singles event at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games on the basis of world ranking allocation according to the June 2021 ITTF Olympic qualification ranking. That's what Feleyi stated. Though he, however, said that the NOC is expected to confirm Aruna's participation on or before June 16. And with this development, Aruna will be making his third appearance at the Olympic Games, having featured in London 2012 and Rio 2016, and he will join his compatriots Olajide Omotayo, Olufunke Oshonaike, and Edem Ofiong to compete in the singles event in Tokyo. And then remember, he had an injury when he was
started to go to that tournament to qualify.
In Tunisia to qualify, he had an injury. But the president of the Nigeria Olympic Committee was really hopeful that the number of his rankings that he has accumulated will be enough to see him get qualification. And that is how Haruna Quadri got his qualification. So this is something we have to celebrate, and this is huge because he is a medal hopeful for Nigeria.
Absolutely. Haruna Quadri is arguably the best table tennis player in the male category to come from Nigeria. I think he has done well for Nigeria in terms of past, and we're hoping that at the Olympics he'll get to take it a notch higher. It's usually very difficult. There's massive pressure going into the Olympics, especially as a table tennis player, knowing fully well that you've got other players coming from other parts of the world who will come there and give you a serious run for your money. He's a medal hopeful, no doubt about that, but what he needs to continue to do right now is to ensure that he puts in the work so that when the Olympics starts, probably towards the end of the Olympics, we'll hear that Team Nigeria in the table tennis event, they've won at least a medal for Nigeria. It will make a lot of sense. I mean, it's been a long time, as if we've ever done that before. When you mentioned a Nigerian on the podium for the table tennis event winning a medal. So let's see. For Haruna Quadri, there's still a lot of work to be done. I'm happy that you mentioned the likes of Olajide Omotayo, Olumuyiwa, who is more like a veteran female table tennis player. There's also Edem Offiong, very much who's been to a couple of Olympics now. So we're hoping that these experiences would of course count for especially the likes of Olumuyiwa and of course Edem Offiong. For Olajide Omotayo, we're hoping that he gets to go to the Olympics and make a serious statement.
All right, that is what is going on right now as far as Olympics qualification is concerned in the table tennis event, which you can also call it ping pong. And we'll go on our first break on the show this evening. When we return, we'll talk more on the show this evening. Stay tuned.
Oh yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
They want to try us. Them go chop out today. Even if I sleep, I remember when you go sleep. Them go chop out today. Even if I sleep, I remember when you go sleep. I tell you, I'm at today, go till yeah.
All right, welcome back to Sports Fiesta, and it's live on 92.7 KFM down here in Benin City. In case you're just joining us before we went on the break, we told you what is going on right now in the camp of the Super Eagles as 17 Eagles have arrived the nest right there in Austria, where they are prepared to take on the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, who denied them the AFCON title on 3 occasions. But then I think Nigeria also on their own, they've won the title on 3 occasions. So we hope that this time they will add to that collection. So the 17 Eagles in camp already, and we are looking forward to that game that will take place on Friday. Then 4 days later, they will take on the same Indomitable Lions of Cameroon in another friendly right there in Austria. And also Haruna Quadri, someone who has really made Nigeria proud as far as table tennis is concerned. He has qualified for Tokyo Olympics. We hope that he goes to the Olympics and do us very proud. He is one of those I look up to, that's the reason why I went into table tennis. That is one game I played so well, honestly. Haruna Quadri as well as Atanda Musa, these guys are really, really good at it. Then there's the other veteran. What's his name now? He has been to about
Segun Toriola.
Segun Toriola, yes, I call him Egbon.
No, man is at the end of this.
Segun Toriola, I call him Egbon. Honestly, so for me, these are the kind of people, the type of people that I looked up to, where that gave me that passion for table tennis. But all the same, I play football as well, and I'm trying to.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I play football. Football is the one that's so that's most common among where you have 2 or 3. But before you get someone that is really good at ping pong, sometimes you find it difficult. Okay, let's go to Europe right now, and concerning the Euro 2020 squad, England very soon they will unveil their squad for Euros, but Mason Greenwood has pulled out due to injury, and for Jadon Sancho, it seems that he won't be making that list as well. But it was a provisional list that he released before, earlier rather. But right now, he's going to trim that squad down and get those that we head to the Euros. And it's not going to be easy. And we hope that they give us something spectacular. We told you earlier this morning that there will be some friendly matches, to get preparation towards the Euros proper. And at 5 o'clock, we'll be having those friendly matches. Let's hit the transfer market and tell you right now that Chelsea targets Robert Lewandowski, who scored so many goals last season. Come on, this guy painted Europe with goals last season, and he broke a record which stood for a very long time. That talking about the record of Gerd Müller scoring over 40 goals. That was massive. And right now, the 32-year-old has hinted, he has told the Bavarians that he wants to leave, and he admitted that he's curious to learn a new culture. And once a player tells you that, come on, that tells you it's good to change environment. And he spent 11 years in Germany, 7 at Bayern, and it's seemingly ready to explore somewhere new. So, though he has been linked to Chelsea, but Barca and PSG are also reportedly making contacts with the striker. So for me, this is
it's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. So long as Chelsea, they've spoken to him, and they are just they just won the UEFA Champions League. Who wouldn't want to play with or rather join the Champions League winning team and all that, just to help strengthen the strike force? Remember, Tammy Abraham will be leaving, and there's that space for a top striker to occupy. So
Lewandowski.
Looking at Lewandowski, he's 32.
He's 32. I'm not sure about Chelsea, considering also that they're looking at Harry Kane. They want to get Harry Kane, but Harry Kane will not come cheap. Lewandowski also, I don't think he will come cheap, even if he's 32. Considering the number of goals he scored in the last 2 seasons for Bayern Munich. For him, I'm basically looking at 2 countries that he would love to play football. One is England, and then the other is Spain. Now, you look at the top teams in Spain, you ask yourself whether those top teams in Spain, they have need for a striker of his caliber currently. Can they also pay his wages? Because for a player like Robert Lewandowski, when it comes to your club, you've got to increase his wages. You've got to also bring out a lot of money to, sign him. See, it's difficult to keep players like that happy, but you've got to make an environment, pretty very much enabling for him to perform, and then the rest. If he goes to England, I'm not sure how effective he will be at the age of 32. Also considering that, you know how it is. The English league is one of the fastest leagues in the world, and you've got to, keep up with the pace. So let's see how he gets to go. He wants to learn a new culture. Maybe when he retires, he probably will go live in England, or maybe live in Spain. Who knows? But let's see. We'll just keep our fingers crossed on this very one. But somehow, Lewandowski has gotten us talking about him moving elsewhere. He has not mentioned the club yet. We just hear 1 or 2, transfer rumors here and there that maybe this club and that club are talking about his signature. But let's see how he gets up. But one thing about the transfer market is pretty very much you hear a lot of things. At the end of the day, some of them are true, and then maybe others are not. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed and see what will happen.
Okay, let's see if Garina Granovskaya will be able to pull that plug, because Olivier Giroud could also be next out of the door at Stamford Bridge, same as Tammy Abraham. So this time around, a leader striker is needed at Chelsea to help them, to retain the Champions League and also go on to fight for the English Premier League. Okay, from then let's talk combat sports, and let's talk about someone who once ruled the world at a very young age. At the age 20, he was already world champion, and he fought against some of the top boxers in his division, and he flushed most of them before you even get to pay your way into the arena. Sometimes a boxing fight is over between him and his opponents, and there was one that I saw. That match did not last up to about 1 minute 30 seconds. I think it was Mike Tyson versus Mike Spence. People were still buying tickets to watch that fight, but that fight was already over because of the brutal manner with which Mike Tyson, faced his opponent, and before you know it, he fell down like a Iroko tree. That was it, and it was over. And for Mike Tyson, he recanted how he slept with a prison warder to reduce 6-year sentence. Remember, he had controversial moments in his life, and though he has retired, he just still recounting how it all happened, all this while he had issues. And he made this telling revelation on how he had to sleep with a female prison warder in order to reduce his 6 years prison sentence. Recall that at the prime of his career, Tyson was arrested for raping an 18-year-old beauty pageant contestant. Although he maintains his innocence, he was convicted in 1992 and sentenced to 6 years in prison. The boxing legend, in an interview, said that he slept with a prison counselor in order to reduce his prison sentence during the time he was arrested for raping an 18-year-old beauty pageant contestant. So that was what happened. And also, speaking about his life in prison, he said he was supposed to spend 4 years and needed to pass the GED, that's the General Educational Development, in order to reduce the term. So he helped himself by dating the counselor. He said, quoting him now, I got in trouble like the first 6 months and stuff, cussing, getting written up, and then by that time I got the hang of the place. Hey, I know how to do this. Next thing you know, I'm dating one of the council workers now. She's letting me have, okay. According to Tyson, he got another year tacked onto his sentence because it was so hard to deal with initially. So I'm going good, but the first 6 months I was getting write-offs. I have to pay that year back. I'm like a star people prisoner, trusting everything. Then, hey, Mike, remember the first 6 months? You were boom. Then gave me another year. He had it. So I think this is a steady revelation. I never knew that Tyson had this issue. And I knew he had the prison issue and all that, but revealing now that this was how he reduced his sentence by dating a counselor. Come on, is this not really funny to you? Things happen.
Very much. Mike Tyson has always been a controversial figure. Even when he was in prison, he was still looking for trouble here and there. I mean, you respect somebody who was sentenced. I'm not even sure if he was sentenced anyway, because invariably stories somehow, I don't even know if he ended well or thereabout. But for Mike Tyson, you look at him as someone who should, go to or get to a prison and then, be sober. That okay, you've been accused of doing something like this. You're already in prison. You're supposed to keep a low profile and ensure that you're able to reduce your sentence by being of good behavior. But then he goes to prison and then, of course, ends up looking for more trouble and making more trouble. And then many years down the line, he has come out to say that, okay, he had to date a counselor so that they can reduce his prison sentence. But then, I don't know, I don't think Mike Tyson would live his life 1 year without any controversial moment. It's just his way of life. I think he's just used to it. He loves the controversy. And then that's maybe what puts food on his table.
Well, as expected, the prison took the year off and he went home after 3 years. So he got what he wanted. Oh, Mike Tyson, no. All right, before we throw the phone lines open, let's tell you what to expect this weekend as Floyd Mayweather, unbeaten Floyd Mayweather, was going to have a fight with YouTuber Logan Paul. Remember, we told you about this fight when it broke out the last time, and it is this fight week that we are going to have them on Sunday. That match, that boxing fight will take place in Miami on Sunday night. Yes, we know how it's going to be. It's an exhibition because you cannot expect Logan Paul to go and beat Floyd Mayweather. Anything can happen, but I know Floyd Mayweather will not handle this case as if he's fighting a fellow professional.
Just trying to make money. There's no need to punch too hard.
In one of the press conferences that they had, the younger brother of Logan Paul had to, it caused a brawl. It was a brawl, and they had to be separated, by bodyguards and all, because he took snatched Paul Mayweather's face cap when he was granting interview, and he also, the guy was looking for trouble anyway. But I think they wanted some kind of drama, but they were earlier they were later separated. But all the same, I think we are going to wait for that big fight on Sunday and see how long it will last. Logan Paul with Mayweather inside the boxing ring.
You know, one thing, I don't actually see Mayweather as a boxer. I see him as a businessman who maybe after some time of getting bored or maybe not going into the ring, he decides to come back and then, you know, take on an unserious opponent and then make some money and then goes back to his shell. You know, well, this one is more like an exhibition match. It's not a serious, you know, game. I don't even think that the rules of boxing would be very much applied on this very one. It's more like a game where two friends are just saying, okay, let's come here and then have a gentleman agreement. There's something serious about this very one. I doubt if I'll be watching this because for me, these guys are just there to ensure that the boxing world are entertained in a different manner. That's just the way I would have put it.
All right, guys, time for you to be part of the show, and you can call us right now. The numbers are 070-6263-9275, 0903-939-4427, and 0812-178-9154. The text line is 080-7400-9076. These are the lines. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Danjuma, good evening. Great to have you on the show.
No, I'll give that guy for doing it.
Our new striker.
Good evening.
Welcome. First of all, once again, let me congratulate Chelsea for winning the Champions League. The other clubs, they don't give Chelsea the opportunity, so the Chelsea don't win because congratulations to them. So we look forward to next season, more Chelsea to Chelsea cabinet. So Robert Lewandowski, I believe he needs me and to come down to Stafford Bridge. So that I call the wake up of him. Even though he needs me, don't all step into the piece of English league, the high pass German league. If Timogena do the wrong, he could do the scoring. So congratulations to them. So Jonathan, they invite somebody who don't play only 8 minutes for one season. Now only the defender will the other defender no dey other country abi the Nigeria will the other defender no dey inside them. When I tell sometimes it matter the tire to people. You see how the every match one day I do.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Oga Maestro.
Good evening, Dan Chelsea.
Our new sign in Chinedu, right? Good evening.
Good evening, Chijindo.
Chijindo.
Okay, Chinedu, sorry, go on. I tried to call. I couldn't get because of many people are trying to, even though they are wishing not even come up for their belly, not reach their belly, because they don't know what they will talk. That's why they tell us congrats. That is why I want to say very big congratulations to all Chelsea fans, both home and abroad. I think that's why we begin. That's why I told that sometimes in this season, when they negotiate and because I told you from the beginning. I said Chelsea now will win. So thank God for Kante. I told you on Saturday, a man that cover 70% of the field. He has done. I think if they no nominate that guy for Column the World, I will say they don't do passion. What they nominate, we will win them. So I wish Chelsea the best contest. Cameroon is there, they should go for the team and get him. Lewandowski is a good striker, but compared to his age, we have not advised Chelsea to go and sign him. I know that he still has like 2 or 3 years to play. As a believer, any player will go. So I believe that the team would have been a better option because of he has played in England. For me, we understand English football. So once again, congrats to Chelsea and all Chelsea fans.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Oga Erosa.
Good evening.
Hey, my brother, no striker over there. You are welcome.
Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Thomas Tuchel.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that Saturday, somebody called. He say, "Make my Chelsea fan no go watch match." Say the heart attack. Joko Hassan, Joko Hassan say after that match, as soon as they call now, they give Babylon for that's what I go see call. Now I hope they never they call now because I know those guys. And again, I tell you that they say whether Chelsea lose or na normal. Like when they always advise us, make we not too much carry our heart put for inside. Now what you mean? You know, some people they take and say na do or die. You go see where some fans go they fight opposite fans. For waiting now. Some of all these some of all these players, I won't know of the club, they don't know also.
Yes,
we don't know the hair. So we they take a past time. But the money say people when they use and play game, you see they favor them. But it's not do or die. So I'm happy for Thomas to go there. I congratulate Chelsea. Thank you very much. I love your program. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Hello. Hello.
Hello. It's Jose Mourinho.
Jose, good to have you on the show. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the platform. Thank you for all the Chelsea fans who have been with us in the bad and the good times. I want to thank KUFM. I want to thank everybody all over the world. Especially I want to apologize for Thomas Tuchel. I never liked him from the beginning. I had no reservation. You know, when suddenly as a child you see a strange person coming into your house, you feel a bit uncomfortable. So I was doubting his credentials, his capability. I want to say to Thomas Tuchel, I'm sorry. I'm sure he's listening to me. So for now, I can see the technical depth he has. He beat Guardiola of all people. So me, Guardiola is, if not the very best of this generation, apart from Jose Mourinho.
Not once, not twice, but twice.
You know? So but for me, Mourinho remains number one. But after him, I can give it to Guardiola. But for one guy from Germany, a guy who is not so decorated with trophies and medals, to beat a coach who won treble with Barcelona, with Xavi, Iniesta, and the rest. I mean, he deserves to be given an award. No wonder the billionaire was moved to have a talk with him right on the celebration ground. So I want to say that we should try to be with this guy, support him. I don't want Chelsea fans to bounce on him when he loses 2 or 3 games straight. We should know that he is Noah. That's one trait of German. Even the Liverpool coach is an example too. Also, I want to speak about Genetro. I'm a bit disappointed. I am his number 1 fan, but I don't support unprofessional character. Yes, some players are withdrawing due to injuries and some other things. I expect by now he should throw the door open to the local players at least. Bringing in 4 players, 4 of the best players across the board from the Nigerian league is not a bad idea for me. So I don't know if the Super Eagles is made only for for those who are based abroad. So I don't know what he's doing. Like they said, he invited a player who has just 8 minutes to his name. In a full season. That is for me not accepted. I reject that. I condemn that. So it's not late. You can withdraw the player and bring in somebody from the league. They should try to give hope to this Nigerian. We know we have everything bad going on in our league. We know Nigerian league is this and that, but we can start from somewhere. We cannot keep judging and condemning something. How do we fix it? So we should give them hope by inviting their colleagues.
All right, Jose, thanks for your contribution. So let's take this. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Good evening. Don't pick your call. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you better. Go ahead.
This is Benga online.
Mayor online. Okay.
Benga.
Okay, Benga. How far?
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
Hello.
Go ahead, Benga. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Benga, you try to reach us since you are struggling to hear me.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
FRO for Pastor Mobile.
Okay, FRO, go ahead.
The blue. Congratulations to all Chelsea fans. Congratulations to Jose Mourinho.
In only one be say, now be the real Chelsea fan say be say yes. He talk and say he analyze the ball and he talk say well the game anyhow it be, the Chelsea fan relax they will win now. Since then they come and they listen to that. Congratulations to him and congratulations to all that Chelsea fan home and abroad. Congratulations to the men at work. the man cover 70% of the pitch. Congratulations to that man. That guy is too much. So congratulations to everybody, Chelsea fan, both the one we support, both the one we not support. Congratulations to all of them. Oga Ibrahim, he really analyzed to have the one sign at that time. He used to compare to one guy, to one man, which Zuzu. So the guy he really justify the 70 million when we take China. So in the future, I should say that guy he will really do well. Harvard, the Golden Boy. So congratulations to Chelsea fan. Well for Super Eagle, well General, Joseph Mourinho don't already talk everything. But for me, I don't even know why this we don't let the carry our match, they go Austria, we dey prepare for Nations Cup. I need a proper plan for Eastern Africa here. If in Eastern Africa here, maybe that coach, if I fit pick all the home base, go play the ball. Miss and with this one way it comes to play the match, Friday match or Friday. So maybe not because of the distance, and they cannot pick the home base. But then let me try to believe on our home base. They get things to offer. 2013, our home base now give us the Nations Cup. But our home base coach. So make it look back. The home base get things to offer to them. So now do well there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, bro. Hello.
Hello. Hello, good evening. I picked your call. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Michael from Upper.
Michael from Upper, okay, talk to us.
I want to speak on the Super Eagle match. Your man here was trying to say that if Nigeria cannot beat Cameroon to this present squad, that means they cannot beat any. I don't think that is a good analysis because this is a international team competition. The players, some of them have not played even together for before. Even some who have played for together before, they don't even understand themselves. So, and also they have players. You know, as if we are just counting all our players, this and that. Cameroon also have players, our players, they don't understand themselves. So, I don't think we should give that impression that if they don't win, I mean, they are not doing well.
It's good for you to have that impression. They should go on to win. And the what comes to a coach minds or players' minds when they take to the pitch is what? It's not going to win.
Fine. But if they don't win, I think for that the other country is not preparing.
Yeah, it's
when the players they have not played together for.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if the players have not played together, it doesn't matter. That's why they say it's teamwork. If the way they play their various clubs where they have to play as a team and they come together and play as a team, why would
they play almost every week now?
We understand, but if what you do every week you bring it to your national camp, it will also reflect.
Okay, see what happens. Okay, let me give an example. When we play our match here, we lost 4-0 to Sierra Leone. When we play the second leg, even though they have played about 3 or 4 days earlier, they did not play as a team. This is what the match. Why?
But we cannot compare the facility here and the one that have over there.
So I'm only just saying that we should not be thinking too much as if other people are not playing well. And as for Chelsea, I'm still happy with them. And for what Mourinho is saying, I know he's just saying it because he doesn't want to give up. That his mind is close. And he's going to come. I think the next thing is that we see what he's going to do in Roma. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Please move away from the radio sets.
Yes, I've done that. Good evening. My name is Kingsley from Technical School Road.
Oh, Kingsley Kizo. Great to have you. Good evening.
Well done, Maestro, and my new man there. Welcome. Whatever is missing in action.
Yeah.
Like you succeeded him with a new player.
Yeah. He's our new player. We are not complete.
All right. But I hope he didn't succeed with Ibrahim.
You said?
I hope he didn't succeed him.
No.
They substitute him and pull out and bring this striker.
No. We needed to add to our squad. Yeah, we need to add to our squad. So that's how we pursue.
Okay, so you have a strong bench.
Yeah, that's a good one. We're ready for the new season.
Well, I want to congratulate all Chelsea fans. You know, I on paper, if it is on paper with your thoughts, Man City will carry the day. But I wasn't that. I believe that I thought that Man City was going to carry the day. But what we saw on Saturday, Chelsea was in charge of that game.
Exactly.
If you watch the Europa League final, Man U and Sevilla now?
Villarreal.
Sorry. You saw that goal that Man U considered was, like it came by luck. And Man U, we thought Man U would just carry the day. But they couldn't. So you saw that winning that game was, for me, it was like, oh, well, game of luck. One will definitely blink. And when the 11th penalty came, okay. But for Chelsea at the Champions League, it was a good, you saw that Chelsea was in charge of that game. And that's why I saw Kante turn up. Kante, for me, the guy was just there. Then Rudiger, but I got a new word, that's the Rudigerization. He Rudigerized the game, the backside. Unfortunately, he hit my man, Kevin De Bruyne, but that was a real pure one. Someone was giving to Chelsea because they, getting that in by luck. And I think from what I hear now, they just won a trophy short of the top, I think it's Man U or so. I'm sure next season they're going to get that top one and soon overtake Man U. So congratulations to you to all Chelsea fans, and I hope that next season they will sustain it and get a good striker. But okay, fine. What Chelsea is now, I think between Lukaku, the man from Tottenham, Kane, or Lewandowski, then a slick player. Like maybe I hope that Timo Werner will win next season, and I'm sure that Chelsea will also contend for the Premiership. Well done, guys.
All right, thank you, Kingsley. Hello.
Hello, the maestro.
Good evening, my brother.
This is Greg Gunners calling.
Hey, Greg Gunners. You're welcome.
I'm with you. Thank you. And the new, I don't know, Ibrahim was saying the moment we already have a maestro. When you say it's a maestro, you have to, either it's a blocking four, you have to choose blocking four. So you have to be there. Just turn to Mikel. Don't go front. Let's say we tell Mikel, don't go front. Don't remain there. Be giving me so that I'll be going front. So you can't be maestro. Though we do have, but since you people are there, you can be the one doing the blocking four, so that the KUFL will not concede goal. This is one big family. You are welcome anyway.
Thank you very much.
See, that Chelsea, the justice level of understanding for anybody to use his credit and say, Chelsea, congratulations, that person needs a pat at his back. Because you spend money, say, in Babele. I don't say anything like Babele, because when you say sorry, I mean, as much as you say sorry to somebody, that person have to accept it. So we congratulate Chelsea. Congratulations is just one way. Congratulations, that what they did. And I saw it coming. I knew. Because I said they're out to something ever since it took okay. So they are proving that they're also something. And they have done it. But one thing, Market, Tugo is a good coach. Remember all the managers that came, their first attempt to always perform. When they come in mid-season like this, they perform, but to their season, see, whichever way. But about the Nero, you see, our match with Cameroon, Indomitable Lion of Cameroon, whether competitive or friendly, is always a talk of war. Because he has pride to reckon. Aneta, they beat on. Aneta, Cameroon won Nations Cup. It's at the expense of Green Eagle and Super Eagle. You see, so whether friendly, whatever, Nigerian Super Eagle should go and play. It's not a toy game. It's not a toy game. The Noro should use the best squad. But he's saying that Sima and the rest will not play. But whoever that is going to use, if you want to use all the players in abroad to execute that game and give us winning, when he beats Cameroon, it will be recorded. Whether friendly or whatever. At the end of the game, in 2021, and they total place at Austria, that defeated them. But when they beat us, you say people that are saying Gonzalo should just take it easy. They're the one that we say Cameroon beat us that day. Now how is it to play so that they will not beat us again? You should focus and beat them. That is all we want. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Greg Gunners.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let me introduce myself to the new track partner there. I think you don't have a cool Fort Myers to power too.
Yeah.
Welcome. My name is Emmanuel Francis, one of KFM Radio.
You're welcome, sir.
Although in my last conversation with you, I said that we are going to win European Cup, European
League title. Now, unfortunately, United did not win it.
We lost. It's very unfortunate. I see everything now. The proof you have is like he doesn't even know what to start with that.
And they are discussing a new contract.
If you take the statistics clearly, you discover that 98% of the days considered the all area best. Even the one in that final, what was with the England being there? As a central defender, you always afraid to head the ball from your opponent and get that continuous 60 goals. For now, when you've been essential to look for good central defenders, so that can be able to do things. We're not pursuing the attack is very good. But what about the defense line? Are we going to play like this? Let's say when the Champions League, it has a lot of what the back line they have. We sustain the pressure. And that was what my Manchester United were lacking on. So you should do something about that central defender. So we will not be checking in on next episode. So about next season, we should know where we are heading and of course where we are coming from. I will say thank you very much for the good work you are doing there.
Thank you.
My new start partner.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's one of KFM's regular callers, Gagba Gadima, one of KFM, and also a very diehard fan of Manchester United. Now let's look at the SMS. Let's take a pause from the phone lines and quickly take some messages before we sign out of the show this evening. This one says, good evening, sports gods. It's Jude from AI. I want to let Chelsea know that the reason why Chelsea has achieved all this is because of the kind of management they have. Owners with wisdom, knowing what to do at the right time, not like the one United have. Shame on the Glazers. Oh boy. I better take it easy on the Glazers, right? This one says, Tuchel beating Pep is not new because OGS always have the best of Pep. Talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Congrats to all Blues and let all teams get ready for the new season. Want England to win Euro. Ben, okay, you want England to win the Euros. Wow. All right, so the last time I watched England lifting the Euros was in 1996, setting Jürgen Klinsmann, Oliver Bierhoff, and a host of others. Rudi Völler.
We'd love to see it again.
I'd love to see that again.
This we'd love to see.
Honestly. This one says, good PM, the Uppers of Sports. KFM is an incredible station. Thank you for the wonderful songs of champions. The God of Soccer live only in West. Okay, the God of Soccer live only in West London. Okay, but your message is not complete. Okay, this one says, good PM, guys. I just want to say welcome to our new strike. Okay, I just want to welcome our new strike partner. As for the transfer market, I just want to tell Chelsea fans to relax because we will spend the cash. It will surely be a lucrative transfer market because we have marked top-notch talents. Chelsea owner from Unilever. From Unilever, you are calling the shots. So many Chelsea owners in this town. Okay. This one says, hello, good evening. Oga Iwosan, our new striker. Welcome back to Oga Ibrahim, and I wish him success in his just completed examination. I just want to congratulate Chelsea FC for winning the UEFA Champions League over the weekend. They really deserve it. And as for Pep Guardiola, not playing with a holding midfielder was not so nice, but I do commend him for the effort, and I wish him better luck next time. Also, I would love you guys to tell me all that is going on in the ongoing Roland Garros. Finally, I also congratulate Brentford for making it back to the English Premier League. Keep up the good work. Thanks. Okay, Asan testing from University of Benin. Ogbowo. So this is the most you can take on the show this evening. The phone line is still blinking, but don't worry, we'll be here tomorrow, and also you have the opportunity to call in the evening and contribute to the show. Many thanks to you guys for making this show an interesting one, and also for those of you that sent your messages. My name is Ewusa Agbekan, the Sports Maestro. I've been doing this with Chidindu Itsoro. Until we come your way tomorrow with another edition of Sports Fiesta, we'll say have a wonderful evening, and bye-bye.
All the programs on KU 92.7 are now open for sponsorship and advert placements. For sponsorship and advert placements, call now for inquiries 070-380-50243 or 080-8877-3644 or visit KUFM Marketing Office located at the top floor of the Enterprise Foundation Building, number 62, Ihama Road, Benin City, Edo State. 92.7 KUFM is your business growth partner.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Beautiful advertisement.
Thank you.
But was he approved by APCON before exposure?
APCON?
APCON is the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, the federal government advertising regulatory authority that vets and approves all adverts before they are exposed on radio, TV, billboard, any medium.
You mean it's the law?
Yes, sir. APCON is backed up by the law to vet all adverts to ensure they are not in bad taste. And there's a big penalty for non-compliance.
Call me our consultant now.
Get your advertisements vetted and approved by APCON before exposure. Call 0909-144-2787, 0811-562-4892 or visit www.apcon.gov.ng today for details on APCON offices nationwide.
Oh yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
We have said it before.
We will still say it again.
Beware of human traffickers and smugglers who encourage irregular migration.
Beware of offers of jobs in Europe.
Beware of stories of getting rich quick once in Europe.
Beware of stories of opportunities to become international model, football star, actor, actress, or singer in Europe.
Note, there is no easy way to making it big except crime.
And if you are caught, you will go in for it.
Europe is no Eldorado.
Nobody picks money on the street. If you must travel,
do it the right way.
Say no to desert travel.
Say no to crossing the sea to Europe.
Don't be deceived.
Many have died in the desert, sea, or even prison.
Say no to human trafficking. Say no to irregular migration.
This message is brought to you by the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, Action Aid, Vides, and Salesians of Don Bosco, Nigeria.
Everybody wants to know more of that. What is happening around the globe? Me, myself, I want to know